Hello. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's my pleasure to share my perspective on judgment. My story relates to judgment, disability, and various aspects of my life. First and foremost, I thought I would explain various aspects of judgment and how not to be judgmental based on my experience of being judged. As the only person in the small town where I grew up with a physical disability, I got picked on, laughed at, and bullied. It wasn't great growing up. I had an alcoholic dad and two abusive parents. I had no siblings to share my struggles with. I had to grow up long before I should have had to. I had to grow up fast because I didn't have any support. My dad would often come home drunk and take out his stress on mom and me. She would lash out at me, angry and frustrated, because of the lack of control she felt in her marriage. Due to getting a few marks lower than my cousins, my mother always compared me to them. What the hell is wrong with you? Why can't you be like them? She would yell at me as she beat me with the belt. Cold, hard iron buckle hitting me harder with each swing. I always felt like I had to prove myself. I had to be emotionless, like a robot, to survive. Nobody said anything positive about me, so I felt worthless as well. How often are we told we should do something? It's like shitting on ourselves. It leaves a big mess. It might be best if I keep this private. I'll share it anyway. Maybe it'll help someone. It's only been a short few years ago I started using a bidet in my home. I was told I had a shitty attitude most of my life before this. I used to avoid being around people because I couldn't clean myself without a bath or shower, not being able to wipe backup pipe, knowing I might need to use the bathroom at any time, not being close to home had a traumatic effect on my mind from childhood until the age of 42. Shitty topic, but I felt the need to share it in regards to today's topic of how to be less judgmental. When I was a kid, getting the timing to be home when it was time to go was quite challenging. I often didn't succeed and smelled like an old rotten corpse. I still went out and did stuff despite it. Even went to college and had a job. Talk about feeling insecure and paranoid and how making friends or being a part of a group can be hard. In grade 8, I told other students to line up in front of me and punch me in the chest. I wanted to see if anyone could knock me across the floor and make me feel pain. I didn't feel like a weak little disabled kid this way. My mental health wasn't the best. My mental pain led me to drink and use drugs at the ages of 11 and 13. Friendships were hard to form in my childhood. After falling further into alcoholism at 18, I left home to go and find my own way in the world. Let's just say I was forced to leave my hometown. I moved to a bigger town for college. Addictions, poverty, and homelessness plagued me. Physically unable to cook, I ate microwave processed foods when I saved enough money to do so. All my money went down the drain while I lived there, drinking. I ate donuts off the sidewalks in places without hot water or heat. I got through it by being strong and independent. I lived rough and by my wits. Happy, miserable, living on friends' floors. But the journey was amazing. Homeless, I lived on the streets. During this time, even though I went through all of that, I graduated from two colleges, transforming people's perspectives. People would tell me, if you're surviving and striving ahead with a disability, then why are we holding ourselves back? Well, like I told him, it's like, I don't know. That's for you to decide. After 7 years, I moved to the capital city to stay alive. I'm glad my guidance counselor used to work at a treatment center here in the city. This program changed my life. My apartment has been my home for the last 23 years. It's been 22 years since I quit drinking and using drugs. The road to the treatment center of Stella Circle was a long one. There was little hope in my thoughts. They were dark and depressing. When I was outside, I mostly kept to myself, feeling isolated. The words my father often told me, "You'll never be anything besides a disabled welfare bum. I'd be better off if you were never born," kept playing in my head like an old 45 record, going around and around and around, keeping me from moving ahead as quickly as I'd like. Darkness swallowed me. With the guidance that Stella Circle's organization provided, I began to see some people truly care and are not judgmental. Each day became brighter and less shaded because I gained hope for the future. I was determined eligible for the community support program. Upon leaving Emmanuel House, workers from this program helped me grocery shop, cook meals, clean my apartment, provide transportation and support to get to medical appointments. They also have provided moral support, encouraging words, and at times, a few times, words of wisdom. And they didn't judge me because I needed all this assistance. For many years, I didn't feel confident about working, afraid of being judged. The employment program, New Beginnings, offered by Stella Circle, which I am proud to say that I graduated from in 2014, helps me to feel like every day is a new beginning. It has also helped me to feel empowered and realize that I am capable of working. We're often taken for granted. We're often overlooked. Persons with disabilities are not given the opportunities and chances. My self-esteem and self-confidence have grown significantly with the help of all the programs through Stella Circle, including the Community Inclusion Choir. This coming March, I'll be celebrating my 7th anniversary of being in this choir. I call it my liberation out of silence. It has been one of my most therapeutic and best things I've ever done. There are no judges. We are all included. We are all helped to feel welcome. It feels great to feel included. I dream that someday, one day, we shall all walk together in unison. Call me a dreamer, but I have faith in what I believe. We are, or at least should all be, considered equal. For most of my life, I didn't feel included in society. This has helped me to step out of my comfort zone, feel less isolated, and it helped me to judge myself less. It's helped me open up to more people. For most of my life, I've been told kids are to be seen and not heard. I felt like I was without a voice. It's one of, if not the most positive things I've ever been a part of. In the past, I tried to keep my distance from events and programs of Stella Circle because of the social stigma and judgment I felt attached to programs such as this. Concerning my physical environment, I am grateful to have had a roof over my head for the past 23 years. I no longer have to worry with sleeping on park benches in January. Because of my physical disability, I've had several adaptations done to my apartment. Working with the occupational therapist of Stella Circle, I've had my bathroom adapted so I can be independent with my care. I have a hospital bed that is comfortable and adjustable that I can get in and out of easily. I have modifications done to reach my clothes hanging in the closet because I cannot physically raise my arms above my chest. I can access my computer through voice commands. And the setup is ergonomic so that I can easily use it because of my lack of mobility with my arms. As a result of these changes at home, I can gain more confidence and access to the community. These services will help me and people like me maintain an adequate quality of life as we age. Our mobility declines as we age. We spend more time at home when we are less mobile. Knowing our personal experiences and getting the support we need is important. Eventually, we'll need to know how to get support for other older people. It is essential to believe that it takes the whole community to work together to change social conditions. Giving my support to others is something that gives me pleasure. Being in the documentary, Be the Change, has allowed me to tell a piece of my story and promote the positive benefits of social organizations, such as Stella Circle. Through my connection with this organization, I've learned that fears limit us and our visions. I have spent the last 6 years getting into public speaking, sharing my story of overcoming obstacles to empower and inspire others. Then, I and those listening will realize they aren't alone and someone cares. I gotta say, that's not bad for someone who never felt a part of society. People will judge you if you step outside the norm and forge your path. Often, that judgment feels harsh. But it's the fear of being judged. Sometimes we're scared of people's judgment, no matter how confident we are. It is common for people to stiffen up before speaking or bite their tongues when they are concerned about what others think. To be like, you'll sometimes do things you don't agree with, feeling indecisive when you can't please everyone. It's impossible to be someone's life-changing present without being a joke and an embarrassment to others. Socialized anxiety disorder, also known as social anxiety, can cause an extreme fear of being judged in social situations. If you think you suffer from social anxiety, talk to someone about mental health treatment. These tips will help you face your fear and build confidence. The judgment of other people. Why do we care? Ever felt insecure talking about your job? Worried everyone will think you're a fake? You're most likely to fear what's most important to you. We all fear being judged for things we judge in ourselves. We all fear being judged for what we judge in ourselves. Critical thoughts like these get internalized. I don't make enough money. Well, I should be married by now. I'm clueless about running a business. I know I don't measure up. When you tell yourself these nasty lies, it's easy to believe everyone else does too. I know. I've been there. Initially, I was worried people would think I was unfocused, flaky, or unprofessional. It doesn't mean we're weak, immature, or broken to care what others think of you. After all, we are human. Judging. Why do we hate it? We're social animals. We crave community. It's not how we crave mint chocolate chip ice cream, but how we crave broccoli. Our well-being depends upon it. Oh, mint chocolate chip ice cream. Sounds so good. Psychologists call our need for community belongingness. Sounds like a blogger term, but it's true. Almost every theory of social or cultural behavior could be based on the fact that people have a pervasive drive to form and maintain long-term positive and meaningful relationships. Feeling socially anxious stems from our need to be socially safe. Judgment equals threat to our belongings. That's why judgment is scary. Now, here are 6 steps to get over the fear of being judged. Fear of judgment is natural and normal, and no one is immune. So what's all the fuss about? Especially if you do unconventional work or have unique life goals. This fear could be holding you back. Don't let it. The world needs what you have to offer. The world needs what we have to offer. Dive deeper. Setbacks happen. Here's how to stop feeling like a failure. Get back up and keep moving forward. You've got important work to do. Take these 6 steps to let go of self-doubt and avoid being paralyzed by the fear of being judged. Number 1, don't invite judgment. We might unwittingly nudge others to judge us when we're insecure. It's like when you steer the conversation to your job or ask about your dreams. Number 2, stop judging yourself. People will find less to judge about you when you stop judging yourself. People will find less to judge about you when you stop judging yourself. It doesn't mean you always have to be confident. We all feel fear and self-doubt at times. Instead of listening to your inner critic, turn your focus outward to the people you serve. Number 3, don't assume people are judgmental a-holes. It's not always a judgment from someone. It's sometimes a lack of understanding. Did you ever explain what you do to them, what you work at? Let them have a chance to get to know you before you judge them. Number 4, stop chasing people's approval. Okay, maybe they're judging you. So what? You can't change what people think about you, so don't waste your time. To achieve your true purpose, be true to yourself. Number 5, be happy. It's hard to judge or criticize if you're happy making money and enjoying yourself. Number 6, get a power posse. Find some people you can hang with without explaining what you do. For me, it's other online business owners and other people into the personal development field. When I'm with them, I never have to explain what a funnel is. That's the sign that I'm in the right place, that I'm at home. Now, 12 ways to stop being judgmental towards others. How to stop being judgmental. Judgment does not improve your life, whether it is comforting or enjoyable. It could get worse. Relationships with others, including those dear to you, may suffer. A judgmental person does not always say or do things, but also behaves. A judgmental person does not always say or do things, but also behaves. Similarly, if you avoid a friend because you think he's bad, you judge him. Judging in silence is worse than judging out loud. Criticizing others for their shortcomings is unhealthy. Getting rid of the habit before it affects your life and the lives of others is of utmost importance. So here are 12 ways to help you stop being judgmental towards others. Number 1, realize that we are not perfect. We all make mistakes. We all have weaknesses. Observe others' shortcomings without judging. We all have our flaws, and you don't want to be judged the same way as them. Number 2, know that judgment is for God to do. Now don't judge me because I'm mentioning God, please. But if you do, so what? Only God can judge. This is also done at the right time. So stop judging others, since it's not your job to point out their imperfections. When the right judge judges, everything is right. Number 3, judge yourself, not them. Focus on your flaws instead of other people's. This will allow you to discover your weaknesses and strengths. It will help you to strengthen your weaknesses. Don't waste your time criticizing others. Focus on your own growth. Number 4, be more empathetic. Put yourself in their shoes. You wouldn't want to be judged others if you understood what they were going through. You will appreciate others if you only realize the effort and time they have put into something. When you judge people, you might also hurt them. Avoid breaking people's hearts. Number 5. Help them rather than judge them. Let's help others instead of criticizing them. I think it's a good idea. Give support instead of judging your partner, friend, or family member. Educate, inspire, and help them overcome weaknesses. Help them find solutions with empathy and compassion. Number 6, know them better. Get to know and understand others better. Be friendly to them, talk to them, listen to their stories, and get to know their lives. Knowing your entire story may help you realize they're not what they seem. Number 7, think that your loved ones might be judged too. People who judge you will most likely judge you back. And also, people you judge will most likely judge you back as well. Your family and loved ones will also be targeted. Doesn't it bother you that your family and friends are being judged? Number 8, mind your own business. Being judgmental drains your time, energy, and productivity. There will be less time for your loved ones, studies, career, or business. Save your time. Don't sacrifice it for comfort or entertainment. It comes at a cost. Spend your energy and time wisely. Number 9, stop the hate. Judgment is often motivated by hatred towards another person. Judgment is often motivated by hatred towards another person. When people hate, we tend to focus on the negative. You can stop being judgmental if you get rid of hatred. Refraining from judging others, being kind to them will help. Number 10, be humble. Pride is another reason for judgment. Feeling superior, they focus on others' weaknesses. They close their minds to things that might make others better. Be humble to stop being judgmental. Instead of judging others, treat them as equals. Number 11, get rid of envy. Envy can also lead to judgment. How many times have you known somebody who judge people because of what they had? Oh, I wish I had that, or to get that because of. Those who are envious or bitter will not let others succeed. Everything will be done to pull them down. Beware of envy and bitterness if you want to stop being judgmental. Be happy and grateful for what you have. Be content and let go of envy. And finally, number 12, love them. Finally, show them love. Family, friends, neighbors, and even enemies deserve your love. Love is kind, patient, understanding, humble, hopeful, and faithful, so you won't judge others. Since I've always felt others lack confidence in me, I felt pressure to prove that I could do things and that I was just as good as everyone else. After a while, I got tired of trying to get everyone to like me. Not everyone can be open-minded, non-judgmental, and accept that people with disabilities can't accomplish much. My frustration grew when things didn't go as planned. No matter what I did, I felt like I was a disappointment. My self-esteem and confidence were dragging through the mud very low. It feels great to be included when you are not judged. From the beginning, as I got older, I learned to live a carefree life, free of judgment and anxiety. So in conclusion, do not spread hatred or negativity by being judgmental. Instead, show kindness, humility, and compassion. Remove pride and hatred from our hearts. Fill it with love. Let's love each other to understand and appreciate each other. Finally, if you believe in God, you should not judge others since you know God makes the final decision and the final judgment. We all can, walk down a brighter path and climb higher mountains by believing in ourselves, being individual candles to help each other through the dark to the moon, transforming fear into freedom. How great is that? Thank you.